What did you want to be when you grew up as a child? Think all the way back when you were little. People would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? What did you say? So for me, at around 4 or 5, I would always say that I wanted to be an artist. And then by 8, 9, 10 or so, that changed, and I would say I want to be a singer when I grow up. And in fact, I actually have a pretty good set of pipes on me. Anyway, obviously the common thread between those two things is creativity. And it was absolutely fuel for my soul as a kid. I was super creative. So, do you remember how we would cover our textbooks with paper kitchen bags? I would always deck those out. I would always collage the front of my school notebooks. I was always drawing and coloring. I would always write poems and short stories. In fact, one of my childhood poems won some sort of an award when I was in 7th grade. And I was always writing and singing songs. So clearly, creativity was a huge part of my life. But then fast forward 2 decades, and I totally lost touch with it. So instead of going to college for musical theater, which is what I was planning to do essentially like my whole life, I ended up majoring in communication. I was afraid of being a starving artist. I sort of thought that, maybe I would be in the chorus line somewhere on some off-Broadway show and I'd have to wait tables to actually make money my whole life. So I chose the more traditional route because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So I worked in PR and marketing for 10 years before starting for Molly with Love. And there were so many times during my career that I actually said, literally, flat out, I'm not creative. I remember, I literally can't count the amount of times that I've said that. And writing, which is something that I've loved all of my life, became a huge chore for me because it took up so much of my brain space writing white papers and technical reports instead of short stories and poems. And then after work, instead of decompressing by doing something creative, I'd crack open a bottle of wine or two and watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I wondered why I always felt so empty. So I totally forgot that what my soul really needed was for me to create stuff in order for me to be happy. I stopped listening to what my soul was actually longing for because I was too busy doing what I was supposed to be doing with my life. So when I took a hiatus from work to get treatment from alcoholism, I rediscovered that creativity. Someone gave me an adult coloring book as a gift because they are in style now. And because I finally had time, I busted out the markers. And that damn coloring book cracked something open in me. Before I knew it, I owned more of those stupid coloring books than I could count. I then started watching makeup artistry videos on YouTube on a near daily basis, attempting to recreate really challenging looks, and for me, that kind of felt like painting in a way. I wrote short stories again, and eventually that led to painting with watercolors, hand lettering, and art journaling and bullet journaling. And now, you should see my office. I own an embarrassing amount of art supplies. But my soul is much, much happier. And creativity has become a critical part of my self-care. So I want to ask you, what did you love to do as a child? What was your ambition when you were 4 or 5? And did you lose it somewhere along the way? Is it something that you can pick back up? It's worth thinking about.